Richard Kristen is embarking on a personal odyssey halfway around the world to Russia's Arctic frontier.
I thought if I ever get the opportunity, I'd like to go. I'd like to see where Sam died, where he was buried.
He's arrived in Archangel on the shores of the White Sea to find the remains of his long-lost grandfather, war hero Sam Pearse.
We never actually thought that the grave would ever be found.
Richard's accompanied by historian Damien Wright, who's become an expert on this little-known chapter in Australia's military history.
For me, it's the trip of a lifetime, really. I've been researching this campaign for 20 years, which is half my life. For Richard, I think it'll be quite a bit of catharsis.
After surviving the horrors of Gallipoli and the Western Front, Sam Pearse was one of 120 Australians who volunteered to fight the Bolsheviks in the Russian Civil War.
Like a lot of soldiers, there wasn't enough shipping to get them all back in a hurry. So the British were looking for volunteers to go to Russia. I think he actually thought it would be nothing, just a bit of a picnic after what he'd been through during World War I.
The historic battleground where Sam and his comrades fought the Red Army is about 4.5 hours south of Archangel.
And this was pretty much the British front line. And it was from here that the Australians advanced at dawn on the 29th of August 1919 to attack the Red Army battery position.
Sam charged at the enemy and took out a bunker before being cut down by machine gun fire.
This is the kind of stuff that Sam Pearse cut through before he made his 40-yard dash in front of a machine gun-equipped blockhouse.
The area is still littered with remnants of the battle.
The British called this a Mills bomb, but you can also call it a grenade. These are actually still live. They've still got the primed, ready to go, got the guts inside.
Sam was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross for his bravery. Last month, Richard and Damien commemorated the 100th anniversary of his death.
And knowing the ground that he had to cover, I think it took tremendous courage to make the attempt. And that he succeeded in getting this far is a miracle in itself.
And a long way to see him.
Sam left behind a pregnant widow.
His daughter Victoria was born after his death and was given the name Victoria Catherine Pearse, so as to have the initials VC Pearse in commemoration of her father.
Now for Victoria's son Richard, just one piece of the puzzle remains. After Sam's body was taken from the battlefield, it was buried at a nearby British camp. But through the fog of war and revolution, the location was forgotten.
A local Archangel historian by the name of Alexei Sukhanovsky and a band of amateur battlefield archaeologists have been looking for Sam's grave for at least 10 years.
The breakthrough came last year. Old war maps and photos were key to the discovery.
The location where the grave was eventually found was in an old scrapyard beneath timber and debris.
This video shows the remains of the soldier that was found. Richard's confident it is his grandfather, who fought in Russia in his Australian Army uniform.
99.9% certain because the remains of the slouch hat were with him and he had one toe missing on his right foot.
Sam's Australian service record confirmed that his middle toe right foot had been amputated before he had sailed for North Russia.
DNA testing will be needed to prove whether it is Sam Pearse. The remains are now subject to sensitive negotiations between the Russian and UK governments.
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn.
Despite making the epic journey, Richard could only pay his respects by placing a photo of his late mum on a box of the soldier's remains.
To the best of my knowledge, the Australian government has not been the least bit helpful, but there's not a lot the Australian government can do.
There's a memorial to Sam Pearse and other soldiers in Archangel. Richard hopes one day his grandfather can be laid to rest on Australian soil.
In an ideal world, I would like to see Sam's remains brought back to Mildura to be buried close to where his statue stands at the war memorial there.
The service of these Australians in North Russia is largely forgotten and unknown, but we should know more about it so that we can give them the recognition and commemoration they deserve.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.